Good evening, New Frontier friends and family, and NPBF fans. This is Nate, coach of the Baltimore Hunch Crows, here to bring you Week 7 of the NPBF D League. This week is a little bit longer just because of the holidays. So now, before we get into the actual games themselves, we do have to do a few housekeeping. For weeks number 7, 3 matches unfortunately again did not get finished. As I stated in last week's recap, that having 2 weeks off gives no one any excuse to not either get their battle done or put in a request for an extension. I have spoken to those coaches. The coaches will be penalized accordingly. There were 2 double DQs and 1 forfeit win. So Tyler of the Orlando Magikarps will get the win for Week 7. And I'll go over the records and where everyone stands in the playoffs. There was a match that was played, but unfortunately the link was the wrong link, so I will be unable to show you. And it was the match between the Golden State War Turtles and the Florida Toxtricities, to which Angel and the War Turtles pulled off a great 2-0 victory here in Week 7. But with all that said and done for the moment, I bring you our first matchup. It is I, Nate, coach of the Baltimore Hunch Crows, taking on Lewis and the Guard Champs. I have brought the Mega Scizor, the Tapu Koko, the Haxorus, the Gastrodon, the Savali. I believe I made Savali this week Steel, and the Darmanitan. While Lewis has brought the Charizard, the Scizor, the Starmie, the Amoonguss, the Landorus T, and the Falapel. All right. Do apologize. Music's really loud. I immediately go into a Dragon Dance just because I knew Landorus was going to Rock Slide. But unfortunately, I did get the flinch. Rock Slide again, and he immediately kills Haxorus. I was very upset because that was going to be my sweeper. I U-turn, and I come in, I get out. Yep, it was Savali Steel. I was like, nope, there's a Charizard. And immediately Charizard goes and lands the Focus Blast with the Spadef drop. He comes with a Amoonguss, and I Volt Switch out. And I go back into the Savali Steel. I Sword Dance, and he Spores. So, I'm starting to notice that some people don't know how the terrains work. For terrains, Electric blocks sleeping. It does not allow anyone to sleep. Misty Terrain blocks all status. Psychic Terrain stops priority. And Grassy Terrain heals and weakens ground moves. Just for those that did not know, Electric Terrain stops sleep. So he lost that. I go into a Flame Charge. I drop the Scizor. I get the plus speed. And now I'm ready to go do battle. I multi-attack. It did pretty good damage. But of course, he lands the Fire Blast and kills Savali. Coco comes back out. At this point, any electric move I click is going to be free chip damage. And then here he comes with his Starmie, which is a free Sword Dance. I don't know why he Ice Beamed the Steel type. It's definitely not anything to really be concerned about, but I'll take it. I Bullet Punch the Charizard. The Flapple comes out. He tries to Sucker Punch me, and I immediately Sword Dance. Because I realized Flapple doesn't have anything other than, I think, Grab Apple that could kill Scizor. Of course, so that's the other move I was kind of weird about. I don't know what happened. I think it might have just been a misclick. There was no way Sludge Bomb was the move for Scizor. At this point, I think his best move last turn would have been to put it to sleep, since he had been trying to put it to sleep earlier. But I don't think he had anything to kill it especially since I still had Darmanitan sitting in the back. So I don't think the crit was necessary, but I did pick up a 4-0 victory this week. Lewis, I'd say research a little bit more. Your team was great. But it did have some exploitable holes. Especially with all of the switching you did, I didn't have to really switch much. I mainly pivoted with Tapu Koko a couple of times just because I knew once Landorus dropped, every time I clicked Volt Switch was going to be damage on everyone else, whether it be little damage or big damage. But good luck in your week 8. I do have a big task against me coming week 8, so I'm excited for it. And we're going to move on to our next match. All right. Here we have BK and the Portland Toxicroaks taking on CC and the Crimson Fairy Slayers. CC took over Ivo's team, to which I then allowed her to make as many changes as she needed, just because she is a new coach coming in. And this is her very first week up against BK. BK, as everyone has seen, is a force to be reckoned with, but I know CC is a capable battler, and I'm excited to see what transpired. CC has brought the Shuckle, the Kartana, Hitmontop, Mamoswine, Goodra, and I believe that is Mega Gyarados. I might be wrong. BK has brought the Magnezone, the Nidoking, the Ditto, the Blissey, the Zapdos, and the Mega Pinsir. For the first time this season, BK did not bring Spectrier, so I'm excited to see what else transpired. Good luck, coaches. All right, immediately comes out with Shuckle and predicts the Sticky Web. All right, Mr. Toxic. CC immediately gets rid of the webs, gets paralyzed. Wow. And misses the triple axle. That would have been huge. Another missed triple axle. Toxic failed. And Hitmontop finally lands the triple axle. I'm going to say this. Zapdos got very, very lucky. There's no way you miss 2 triple axles and don't kill Zapdos on the second. That was immensely, immensely, immensely lucky. Immensely. Zapdos Roost. Close combat. Probably would have triple axled again. Roost. Triple axle. No. Okay. I would triple axle. Roost. Oh. And down goes Hitmontop with barely any damage to Zapdos. And Mamoswine gets one shot. That was not very... CC's very prepared. Oh, God. The Volt Switch into Blissey to bait the Flamethrower. Stealth Rocks go out. Sticky Web goes out. Okay. Now CC has a way to slow down BK's team. But breaking this Blissey is going to be the issue. Dracometer did nothing. Seismitoss. Slow it down even more. I do love Gooey Goodra. And Kartana. Here comes Zapdos. Does Zapdos show Heat Wave? It shows Defog. Nice. Toxic on the Shuckle. Sticky Webs go back out. Now it seems to be a battle of attrition. Encore. Nice. Good job. Now it's just going to keep defogging. Come on, CC. Okay, she got the dance off. Sturdy. Volt switch. God. This is getting out of hand. Mega Pincer just body slams its way. Gooey. Okay. And it roosts. Yeah, this was just a battle of attrition. With the crit. With the crit. Zapdos has to have Heat Wave. Does Zapdos have Heat Wave? No, it doesn't. It only has. Wow, that's a weird set. It's just a pivot set. Whoa. GG coaches. Congrats on your 6-0 victory, BK, here in week 7. Yeah, that was just a battle of who could pivot the most and keep the damage on. CC, tough break. You are correct in assuming that it is not first turn evolve megas. You don't have to evolve your mega first turn if you don't want to. But it does have to hold its mega stone. That way, if you do decide to mega evolve it, it does mega evolve. Yeah, BK has been on a tear this season. He is currently sitting at a pretty 7-0. When I go talk about the playoffs, I do have some words about BK. But good luck in your week 8 matches, and we'll move on to our next battle. All right. For our next battle, we have. Give me one moment. My computer's lagging for some odd reason. We have Colin in the Infernal Blazers taking on Floyd in the Baltimore Corviknights. Sorry, the name escaped me for like a split second. Colin has brought the Rhydon, the Primarina, the Conkeldurr, the Crobat, the Jirachi, and the Rotom Heat. While Floyd has brought the Serena, the Rhyperior, the Mega Mawile, the Entei, the Tapu Fini, and the Dracovish. On paper, just strictly based on paper, Floyd should be able to pull this off. Outside of Primarina, the team is weak to water. Vish under rain or Vish with webs on the opponent's team makes an absolute mess of this. But nonetheless, I am not a fortune teller, so I don't know who wins this. Let's go. Rhyperior and Rhydon. Okay. They both get rocks out. Smart. And Heat comes out. Good prediction. Good prediction. NT comes out. Fire versus fire. Crunch. 36% with the citrus berry. And he volt switches. Does 36. So Entei is not Spadef. Mawile comes out with the Intimidate. Calm Mind Primarina. And it is Mega. Yikes. Iron Head. Please be. Is it going to be Sucker Punch? It is Sucker Punch. Okay. I can dig it. Here comes Crobat. Here comes Rhyperior. I think Crobat is going to be Heat Wave. Giga Drain. Ooh, I like that. Rock Blast. That first rock is a... Oh, God. Oh, God. Did you folks see that? 2 Rock Blast. Typically 3 to 5. First hit, crit. 58%. The second hit, 38%, and left it with next to nothing to almost guarantee the kill, and it only hits 2 times. Oh, tough break. And then he nasty plots. I would have just attacked, as it doesn't have much else. Serena comes out and Sword Dance. Ooh, I'm curious now. Here comes Rotom Heat. Power Whip misses. Okay. Vish comes out. T-Bolt. Fish's Rend drops Vish. Conkeldurr. So I want you folks to take notice. Entei, 14%. Serena's at 88. Rhyperior's at 14. Maul's at 22. Dracovish is at 11. Finny's at 100 because it hasn't come out. He still has Jirachi and Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is now burned. This is a problem because now Conk is going to be able to do whatever he wants. And that was not... Okay. Let's see it. Can he pull it off? Rachi comes out. Moonblast. Okay. Resisted. Rhyperior, 8%. T-Wave, immune. Down goes Rhyperior. Entei comes out. Dies to rocks. Mega Maul comes out. Down goes Jirachi. Nice. Rhydon comes out. Sucker Punch Rhydon. Stone Edge. Vish dies. Finny comes out. Scald on Rhydon. And I think this is the game, folks. That is the game. Phenomenal play. Floyd and Colin. Congrats, Floyd, on your 2-0 victory here in Week 7. I did get a little worried because all of the switching you started doing was just weakening your team. And with a Jirachi and a Conkeldurr, even at half health, they could do a ton of damage to your team. But congrats on your win, Colin. Just the luck of the draw for the week. I have no worries about you bouncing back. But good luck in Week 8, and we will move on to our final match. All right, our final match is between Matthew K and the Brooklyn Mantykes taking on Callum, and the Carditon Carnivines. Callum has brought the Stoutland, the Arcane 9, the Gorgeist, the Mega Sceptile, the Electivire, and the Duraludon. Matt K has brought the Mega Aerodactyl, the Wishy-Washy, the Sylveon, the Diancie, the Heatran, and the Dragapult. So these two have been the more consistent battlers week in and week out with their team building and their team prep. I had the pleasure to play both of them. Unfortunately, I did lose both matches just because they prepped a lot better than I did. And I have no complaints. These are two really good coaches, so I'm excited to see how their match went. All right, here comes the infamous Wishy-Washy against the Electivire. He stays in. Curious. Vested Washy. Which means Washy's the double switch into Heatran, the Yawn from Stoutland, and Rocks. Okay, he got the Rocks. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. That is going to hurt. Choice band Dragapult. That's going to hurt. Um, One of Dragapult's niche is that it's just ridiculously fast. So any type of damage to it, Specs Sylveon, nice. So that means Thunder Punch and the paralysis, nice. Okay, Earthquake drops Heatran, Mega Arrow, Rock Slide, okay. Stoutland, Duraludon. Oh, he's not worried about getting the attack drop. 2%. Cut Sap. Yes, yes. Sorry, Matt. Finally, someone runs Cut Sap Berry. Cut Sap Berry is one of those berries that it allows you to pick up that needed kill on an opponent. There have been times where I've battled, people, and I knew that if they didn't die to this attack, I was going to lose. And so I gave that Pokemon a Cut Sap Berry, which allows you to move faster. I believe your HP is below 30%. And here, the Cut Sap Berry activates and allows Duraludon to pick up the kill on Mega Arrow. I like that a lot. See, I didn't watch this because I love Cut Sap Berry. T-Bolt on Washi, flip turn to get out of there, back into Dragapult. Dragon Pulse unfortunately drops Dragapult because Dragapult is now slower. No. Oh, God. Schooling. I'm surprised he didn't just click. So, based on what happened, the fact that Dragapult had a speed cut in half means Dragapult is somewhere in like the high 200s. Yeah, somewhere around the high 200s. Even with the paralysis. That means Duraludon was still faster than the paralyzed Dragapult, which is normally high 3s, low 4s. I think the move would have been just to click Thunderbolt on Wishy-Washy, even with the Assault Vest active, because I do think it kills. Facade drops Wishy-Washy, which leaves the Diancie to then get Yawned and Calm-Minded. And at this point, it's a battle of when does it wake up? Down, and Diancie's asleep. RK9 comes out and finishes off the Mantikes. GG to both coaches. Congrats on your 3-0 victory here in Week 7, Callum. Like I said at the beginning of the match, both of you have proved to be exceptional battlers and continue to impress me and the other commissioners with your battle prowess. And we look forward to watching your matches each and every week. Matt, no complaints. It's just one of those off weeks. You'll bounce back. You'll come back stronger, harder. I look forward to watching you guys battle in the playoffs. So with that being said, that does conclude all of our match replays, but we will now get into the current playoff standings. So, as I stated, BK is currently the number 1 seed with the current stranglehold on the Magnolia division with a perfect record and a plus 29 differential. Note about BK. If BK were to win Week 8, BK would be the first lock for the playoffs. Based on how the season is going, 8 wins guarantees you playoff. If I remember correctly, 8 wins guarantees you playoff, and then based on how everyone else does, Week 9 is typically when teams start locking up their divisions. But we will see. BK's division's kind of up and down, so anything can happen. Currently sitting in the number 2 spot is Matthew K in the Brooklyn Mantikes at a 5-2 record with a +3. His division is also kind of up and down. I think there's only one other person chasing him at the moment, which I believe is myself. Currently sitting in Division 3 is Tyler in the Orlando Magic Carps, also at a 5-2, but a +1 differential in the Juniper division. The Juniper division is the closest division currently in the league. Currently, 3 of its 4 members are in the playoffs as of right now. If the playoffs were to end, they would have 3 of 8 spots. Last week, the Magic Carps were tied with the Guard Champs in record and differential, but because the Guard Champs beat the Magic Carps earlier in the season, they were the champion and the Magic Carps were the number 1 seed. Now, the Magic Carps are the number 3 seed, while the Guard Champs are sitting at wild card number 2. And rounding out our division champions are Ben and the Sussy Makas with a 4-3 record and +2. Ben, unfortunately, was one of our double DQs because he was not around. But because of how well Ben had been doing earlier in the season, this did not knock him out of the playoffs. It merely knocked him down as a division champion. His division is also one of those closer divisions, as if Ben does not keep it up, any of his other division mates could come up and take the crown from him. Our very first wild card is Callum in the Cardinal Carnivines, sitting at 4-3 with a +5. Like I said, their division is an any week type of division. If Tyler were to lose in week 8 and Callum wins, immediately you have a change in who's the division champion and who is wild card number 1. Same with the Guard Champs. They're sitting at 4-3 with a -3. Their division is going to be a toss-up until the very end. We may not get their division champion until week 12. Wild card number 3 is the Infernal Blazers, sitting at 4-3 and a -5. He is currently chasing BK. And honestly, I think he can catch BK. He's going to play his cards right and just keep getting those wins. And rounding out the wild cards is myself, the Baltimore Haunch Crows, sitting at 3-4 with a +2. There are 2 other people below me that are also at 3-4, but they have negative differentials. So I round out the wild card in the last playoff spot. It's been a definite hard road. A lot of my losses have come against teams that are currently in the playoffs. So I'm gonna have to stay on top of my game. I'm gonna have to make sure I do what I have to do to maintain my spot in the playoffs. But this is an any week type of league, so you may see me up or you may see me down next week. But with that being said, thank you guys for sticking by. If you are interested in more NPBF content, the main league has uploaded their week 5 and week 6 and currently working on week 7 draft replays. So go ahead and give them a chat. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments or go ahead and visit us on the New Frontier Facebook page. The link will be in the description along with the main league videos in one of the end boxes on the end screen. Once again, this is Nate, coach of the Baltimore Haunch Crows, wishing you all a happy new year, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.